Good morning, everybody. Shift your mindset here from the chicken coop because it's windy outside. And today's episode will be how you can change from following the governing body, from being a sheep to become someone who can rely on themselves, to become a powerful individual, because that's what I'm doing and that's what I want everyone to experience themselves. Because we grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, or maybe you're still a Jehovah's Witness, and we gave away all our superpowers to the organization, to our parents, and to some man in New York. And that's difficult to make that transition when you leave, because you have no self-love, you have no boundaries, you have no identity most of the time, and all those things you have to build up again. It's like you're a whole different new person in this world, and you have to explore everything like a child does. Because we had no self-love, because everything was outside of ourselves. We were always busy with things outside of ourselves. We were never busy with personal growth. There's no room for personal growth in the JW religion. You had no boundaries, because boundaries are so many times they cross your boundaries that there is no boundary left. You have no personal private life. You have no things for yourself. Everything is shared with the organization, is known in the congregation. They know what you are doing, they know where you're working, they know who's visiting you, they know everything about you. The elders give you advice even if you don't ask for advice. All those things are happening when you are a JW. You lost your complete identity. You don't know who you are anymore, because you're part of a collective and you're just putting in the work. Queen bee, governing body, and their workers. And you're just busy working for what you don't know, but you do your part. So it's difficult to be self-relying. That you can trust yourself, trust your instinct, trust your critical thinking. And the reason why I'm making this video is I've always had the tendency to rely on myself. And I was a different person when I was a JW. I didn't get involved in things with more than myself, more people, because I always wanted to keep the control in my own hands, what to do, when to leave, stuff like that. And the reason why I'm making this video is I live in South Africa with my wife, and we have a phenomenon here I never experienced in my life, and that's called load shedding. If you Google it, you will see. Load shedding is the national grid, the electricity grid, can't cope with the demand, so they turn off cities. Here in my neighborhood, it's now today from 12 till 2 in the afternoon and 10 o'clock at night till 12 o'clock at night. Sometimes it can be 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or 5 till 7. So now we're on a certain stage, and the higher it gets, the more worse it is. So we experienced it now for a few years. And that's not convenient. In the early days that we were here, it was a nightmare because we were used that we had every time of the day electricity in the Netherlands. It was always there, you can always do something. So the first time it was 5 till 7 at night, in the afternoon till early evening, and all the lights went out, fridge went out, internet was gone, everything was gone. And we thought, oh no, what's happening? No, and now we are just talking, we have some lights, we put on a candle, we have a good conversation, nothing is wrong with that. But a month ago, because I don't want to rely on incompetent people. There are many illegal connections, but there's also, it's a game they play from the government to do this. Because there's enough electricity, but they're playing games so people burn fuel with the generator, stuff like that. It's also making them a profit. And a month ago, I was done with it and I thought, I have enough water here. I don't have to use municipality water. What I'm gonna do is I'm going off the grid. I want to rely on my own. And of course, not everyone here in this country can afford it, I know, but it's also about priorities, people. If you make something a priority in your life, you can do amazing things. If you make something a priority, you want to save money for whatever, then suddenly you find ways to accomplish it. And that's what I'm always saying. You as a human being, you as a person, as a wonderful person who is watching right now, you are far more capable in doing things than you even know for yourself. So let me say this to you, you can do everything, people. So we put on the solar, we put on the big batteries, the inverter, all that whole shebang, and I'm going through life without stress. It's all working on the solar panels. The geyser, the electric gate, the electric door of the garage, everything. During the day, it charges 100% at night. All the lights are burning, everyone is safe. Street lights, gate lights, spotlights around the house, everything is 100%. Alarm stays on, because also normally the alarm goes off or whatever. So I don't want to rely on other people. So I'm taking steps in my life to make myself more easy. And that helps you to have a calm mind. And that's what we want, people. You want a calm mind. And this is just an example of how I do it in real life, but also shift your mindset. And one thing I had to learn, and I thought in the beginning, because I was a JW, I was giving away everything of myself. One thing I had to learn was to learn to love myself before I can love other people. To think about me before I can think about somebody else. To feel joy before I can transfer it to somebody else. Because, and it maybe triggers you now, if you're watching, maybe you left JWs recently, it can trigger you because I also thought I am becoming an arrogant person. I'm gonna be a selfish person now. But that's because we went from this on the scale. We think now we go to this if we think about ourselves. but what we doing is balancing now. Now you're gonna get the balance. And maybe you tip off to the extreme side sometimes because you're still learning it. But thinking about yourself, your family, maybe your wife, has nothing to do about arrogance. It has something to do also with boundaries. Because we were people without boundaries. We were doctors without borders. For God's sake. We were giving everything away. We didn't get anything in return. How often was I encouraging another JW, but I was drained. My energy was gone. I was laying in my bed and I thought, oh my God, it took all my energy away. And that person comes back to you. How often were we the ones who were like a Google? People took you in. Can you help me with this? And you don't know why, but people always were coming to you to complain, to ask advice, and you thought, oh, I'm a nice person, I'm good. No, because those people want short-term satisfaction. That's what I was searching for. And every now and then they come back like a vampire and they suck you dry. They suck the life out of you. It's like a parasite. Those people are feeding of negativity. They want to put everything, all the problems on you, and you were helping them. You were empty and they were full for a week or a few days or whatever, and then they come back. How often did that happen in your life? For me, it was often. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to this. So, boundaries is part of that game plan. Because you can't give away what you don't have. If I don't have 10 oranges, I can't give away 5 oranges to you. I have to go to the shop, get some oranges, and then give it to you. So, don't give away what you don't have. If you don't have love in you, you can't give away love to another person. Then you're faking something. The elders are giving you advice, and how many times didn't we say, yeah, but he himself isn't doing it either. There's an elder on the stage saying, you have to do more ministry, people, and you never see him in the ministry. We were always led by fake people. People who talk the talk, but don't walk the walk. 99% of the time it's that. So, if you want to be a powerful individual, you're not gonna give away what you don't have. If you want to help somebody, first help yourself. Think about the airplane. If there's something happening and the oxygen masks are falling from the ceiling, first rule is to put it on yourself before you're gonna help somebody else. And that's also what you have to do in the life after you left the organization. First you have to make a solid foundation for yourself, and then you can help other people. You can't help other people if you're giving away stuff that you don't have in you, because then you feel empty all day long. And another thing, it was a hard lesson for me, but stop finding excuses. Because other people always were thinking for you in the organization, what to believe, what to do, this, that, and it keeps on nagging in your head. And we are masters of finding excuses why you are not making your own decision. But you have to make your own decision. We have no boundaries when we leave the Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's time to set boundaries. I did things I didn't want to do. Are you going with us into town to the beach? Okay. Always said okay. And then I learned, no, I'm not liking it. I want to stay home. But to say that out loud to other people is the best thing you can do. To express your feelings and not making the excuse, oh, but they would like it if I go with them. Yes, but what do you like? So don't make an excuse that somebody thinks you are going with them, because then it would be a joyful thing. They can also manage their own. But if you are not clear in what you want, you're always behind. You always have to catch up with yourself. And then you have guilt towards yourself because you did something you didn't want to do. Then you are getting in that vicious circle. And then you're gonna hate yourself, you're gonna blame yourself, stuff like that, and then you're the victim. But you're not the victim. That's what I wanna say. So stop finding whatever excuse you are making to do something. Oh, I'm not feeling well, so I'm not gonna go. It's like that you have a marriage with your old identity. And you have to break that. And that old identity is doing everything it can to keep you in that relationship you had for 20, 30, 40 years, whatever, that you were in the Jehovah's Witness religion. So it's hard to break from that. But you don't want to make excuses for yourself. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to express your feelings. You have to be clear to other people. What are your boundaries? And they will respect your boundaries if you are confident about your boundaries. If you have no doubt about it. And you just say, hey, listen, thanks for the invite, but I'd rather stay at home and work on my whatever of swimming, or I'm gonna go for a swim, or I'm gonna go cut the grass or whatever. And they say, okay, maybe next time, bye-bye. I had to learn that also with my wife and my parents-in-law and everyone around it. I had to learn to stand up for myself in just expressing how I feel, what matters for me, and what's important for me. And if something matters for me, if something is important for me, in normal conversations say what I want to do, people listen to you in the outside world. They're not waving it away. They're not condescending in no, they say, okay, but just be clear. We always make excuses to do something, or we trying to get out of it in a certain way, or find an excuse or whatever. But if you are just honest in what you feel, what you want, and what's important for you, then people take that into consideration. They want to cooperate with you. It's a whole new world what's going to open for you. And the best thing is, don't let the past drive you through your current life. It's like a wake of the boat. If you stand on the rear of the boat, you see the trail left behind that boat. You see it flowing away from you. The energy of the boat is driving you. That's the energy you have in you now. Is it possible that the wake of the boat drives the boat? No. So, don't let the past behind you drive the future in front of you. Even the moment of now. That's the old you, and you're going towards the new you. And that new you is a beautiful person with all the capabilities they need in life to succeed. You can't be arrogant in what way or another way, because we are on this side of the extreme low self-esteem, self-worth, no boundary scale. And now when we are working on ourselves, we have sometimes the feeling that we're getting arrogant, or that we're getting too much confidence and stuff like that. But like this was not healthy, this is also a not healthy thought. But what we are doing is we're balancing the scale. We have to put ourselves first. We have to regain the trust in ourselves, that we can do it, that we can rely on ourselves, that you don't need other people to think for you. It's easier that other people think for you. I agree. But that's what you don't want anymore. That's why you left the Jehovah's Witness. So we have to get rid of that label of group thinking, that there are some people who know what you have to think, that they want you to think, etc. And it's a process. Believe me, it's not done in one day. But for me, it's important that you get the message like I also got the message. And it's wonderful to see how much your life is changing for the good when you apply this. When you are going to rely on yourself, that you are trusting yourself in your judgment, that you trust that you have clear boundaries, and that people around you know what your boundaries are, and you will see they respect your boundaries. I know you are used to that people don't respect your boundaries. In the Jehovah's Witnesses, no one respected my boundaries. But now I have a close circle of people around me, my wife in the first place, who respects my boundaries, who agrees with the boundaries, who is just cooperating with me, thinking with me. Sometimes she's a mirror for me, so I can practice. And that's unconditional love. And we never knew it, but it's possible. So start relying on yourself. Start working on yourself. Give yourself permission to feel joyful, to feel happy, to feel passionate about things. Help yourself creating every day some boundaries. What people can expect from you, that you are feeling safe enough to express to certain people what's important for you, how you are feeling, and you will see that people are genuinely, how do you call it, genuinely interested in how you feel, and that they take it into consideration, that they think about it. And that's the beauty of life, people. So transfer yourself from a sheep of the governing body to a powerful individual who is brave enough to rely on their own, that they can see, hey, I can make that choice, I can do it, I am powerful, I know what I want, everybody knows who I am. I'm not hiding behind a mask, I'm not hiding behind an excuse or something. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. And if you have that attitude, you will see people are drawn to your energy. And the right people will come on your path, on your beautiful journey to self-growth, more freedom, and having a beautiful life. People, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think and see each other on the next episode.